What's going on, everyone? Ains here from Season Gaming and back with another one of my favorite things in the world, a new statue. So as you can see in front of me, I have the new Leshen statue from Dark Horse Figures. Now this is in the same line as the figures they've been making for about 2 years now, but this is the first in this size and scale. It's limited edition to 1,000 units. This is number 60. And it's about double the cost, or maybe a little more, of the standard figure. So I wanted to take a look and see how it compares to some of the other offerings from Dark Horse, as well as some of the more premium offerings from studios like Prime 1. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that I've done a lot of Witcher things, including the most recently the video unboxing of this Prime 1 Studio Yennefer statue. And so I wanted to have these out to kind of give you a good comparison as to what you can expect for your money for this Leshen statue. Now right away you can see the box comparison to the standard figure here. It's much bigger and broader. It's got a window that kind of opens up at the front here to give you a look of the figure itself. And as you can see, it's about double the size of this small Geralt figure here. So this is 11 inches, so it kind of gives you a sense of scale. Now what I'll do as always is, if you give me a minute here, I'll start to unbox this and we'll rearrange and I'll give you a closer look at what's inside. Let's get to it. So just like the figures, it comes packaged pretty generic like a standard figure, but right away, as I get it out of the box, yeah, the scale is definitely impressive. Now, if you follow the Witcher games, and have played Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, of course, you've likely faced this creature, and he's one of the most terrifying enemies you can face in the game. But when you first kind of see him in scale, he's huge. Very tall, very big, usually crows around him, which obviously they can't put in the figure here. But I love that they've gone to the scale they have compared to their standard figures, just to kind of show you what it would be like, you know, in the game. All right, so right away, have some bad news. If you've watched my other videos, you know that when I got my Triss Marigold statue from Prime 1, it was actually broken. And didn't notice until just now, but as you can see here, is a piece of his antler is not attached properly. So I can't tell if this is just broken or snapped off. It looks like it may actually be broken. So, well, that's not good, is it? So we'll deal with that as it comes. I'll take care of that on the side. As usual, I'm going to go forward and just continue to kind of give you a look at this, assuming this, of course, was not broken. So, right away you can see that the scale, like I was saying, much bigger, much broader. It's kind of a cool image here that you can set up if you're into figures and the like. Now, while this on screen looks somewhat size scale to the Prime 1 Studio, I can tell you that this is much, much lighter, and really, you know, for the price, it's not going to compare to something like a Polystone statue. But let me go ahead and reorganize the camera now. I'll move in closer and show you some of the details on this. So let's give you a close-up look at the statue here, as you can see in some good detail. What I really like is the way the vines and leaves are growing on his legs and his whole torso. It really makes it come alive, just like in the game, looking like rotted wood and just remnants of the forest. Obviously, you've got this huge claw here and here, this arm here, the way it extends down, and just the way he has his claws out. Really, really, really neat. The skull, you can see up close in the detail on that and how it's done. So, as I said, it's a really, really neat sculpt. Let me pull it around back here. And you can kind of see the bones and the sticks and the branches and everything else, the rope around his garb here. So, really well done. Again, really disappointed by these by the broken piece, but that's okay. So, there you go. Let me go ahead and reset back up with the other pieces, and I'll give you the final comparison of what I think on this statue compared to some of its peers. So there you have it. That's the Leshen statue from Dark Horse Figures. Now, like I always do, bring out a few comparisons for you. So we've already kind of taken a look at the standard figure scale, how it's about, you know, nearly double the size all up. It's definitely got a much broader base. Here's your standard pop figure, you know. So it kind of gives you an idea of what these things look like in terms of height and scale, excuse me. Like I've said in many of my videos, if you've been watching, is these Prime 1 Studio Witcher line, they're just on another level, and they should be. They're very expensive, but if you have the means and you're a big Witcher collector, even a big statue collector of other lines, definitely look into doing some of these Polystone statues, because they are just gorgeous, they're timeless, and they just really kind of change the room around you. For what you get here out of Dark Horse, this is a nice piece. Like I said, I covered in the detail. I really like it, like the sculpt, like the design. It is a little light for the money. You know, you're paying about $110, $120, and so usually when you're paying that kind of money, you'll be in the small scale polystone statues that you can get. And so in that regard, you know, it being plastic and it being a little lighter, slightly disappointing, but I think the attention to detail, the scale of it, makes up for that, especially in comparison to some of the smaller figures. So overall, I really like it. Obviously, a little disappointed that I got a broken piece here, but, you know, stuff happens, so I'll deal with that. But any other questions, please let me know. Leave a comment, leave a like. If I can answer anything for you. As always, really appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you when the next statue arrives.